welcome to Ask Susan Sunday Live with me, Susan. Susan Lazar-Hart, your host, your congruency coach for creatives, for seekers, for starseeds, for those of you who are asking to create and live and prosper with a more joy-filled and fulfilling life. Wherever you come from and wherever you're going, you've come to the right place. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Sue, let's tell everybody where you're from as you come on in. We have an international community. I'm going to wait for a few seconds for the algorithms to kick in. For those of you who are new, Ask Susan is the place to come every Sunday for all your questions. It's not a dialogue, it's a monologue, It's hey, Patricia, welcome. It's a place we all come to with questions, because who doesn't have a question for what's going on in their life, right? Especially right now. So our question today is, are you creating with what's here, what you know is possible, or are you chasing it away? Hey, Deborah, good morning from sunny Miami. We've got Montreal, Canada, sunny Miami. I love it. Come on in. Tell us where you're from. And come on in. You can write in your questions. This is about choice this month. It's the last of the month, so we'll be moving into a new theme starting next March 1st with lots of goodies and surprises. And right now, it's about choice. So one of the things that I've noticed is how many times do we discount what we've already created, right? How many times by discounting means we don't appreciate. Oh, Sue's from South Africa, Durban. Yay. It means we're not actually appreciating something, right? When we negate something, that means there's no appreciation there. So how many of you were actually taught to really appreciate what you are creating and how you are creating and who you're creating with, right? Or were you taught, okay, well, that's then, that was that, now what are you doing next, right? Or is this the best that you can do, right? I remember somebody asking me that question, and, you know, we're taught, you know, you've got to do your best, you got to do your best. Well, if you have a point of view that best disavows everything that you've created to get you where you are to now in this 10 seconds. Do you see how we're actually pushing away what we are creating with? And one of the most important things we can do is to choose to be in conversation, in dialogue, right, with what we are creating. Whether it's our business, our body, our relationships, whatever that is, right? It's about choosing to be in a conversation with those energies, and then asking those energies, where do we go from here? You know, talking with your business, appreciating what you have created, what you are creating, not what you could be creating. Do you get the difference in the energy there? When we're always in, I coulda, I woulda, I shoulda, right? The coulda, woulda, shouldas. We're actually discounting what brought us here in this 10 seconds to the awareness of, oh, there's something else that's possible. Oh, so I wonder, where else is this leading me? Where else would I like to play? But that where else would you be willing to include the conversation of your business, your body, your relationship, whatever it is that you're asking about, right? Because the thing is, when we push something away, we're telling the universe, I'm not interested in going farther, right? And the thing is, we're always going farther. Whether we're cognizant of it or not, we're always shifting, we're always changing. It's about reaching forward. It's about not just reaching forward, but reaching forward as you reach laterally, as you reach vertically, as you reach horizontally. Because we're always in motion. We're always in choice. But the important thing to ask yourself today is, have I been pushing away? It could be pushing away my capacities because nobody recognized them. Pushing away what brings me joy because that's not making me money. Pushing away what's fun for me because that doesn't. Do you see how we do that? We take what we are creating, instead of appreciating it, we push it away with because it doesn't, or because I'm not, right? Or because that's what everybody else says. So actually everywhere we're looking for validation, before we move forward, sideways, upwards, whatever, wherever that is, you're actually pushing away the joy of what you are creating. Question, how do you choose, thank you, Deborah, how do you choose to collaborate with what that looks like? Okay, you asked me what tools. So have a listen to this again, right? Even though we're just beginning, have a listen to this again, because I put in very quickly a lot of juicy nuggets. But how do you choose to collaborate with, right? The biggest tool is to shut all the noise off, right? Thank you, Deborah. I love this question, right? The biggest tool is to be present with what it is that you're asking to create or collaborate with. Now, are you willing to be present, right? What I've become aware of is most people are being present while they've got the radio on, the Facebook, the podcast, the everything else, stuff going through their head. As soon as I finish this, I will. As soon as I finish meditating, I will. As soon as I finish being present, I will. As soon as I No. Gift yourself the space of presence. Be with whatever it is. So what is it, Deborah, that you're asking to collaborate with? Give me a little something to work on here, right? So for myself, I was very quiet this morning. I actually had been playing with the Palladian species, right? Playing with my crystals, being very present, and there was this total sense of space in my universe. From that sense of space, then I asked questions about collaborating with all the brilliant writers that I've ever been, known, and have contact with, and to download all of that information as I'm creating this book, Fearless Every Day. Yeah. Deborah, let me know if that assists you, and for anybody else who's just listening here, people in a new business ventures, all right, are you asking to collaborate with those people, Deborah, or are you asking to collaborate with the new venture? See, that's two different things, and yet they're intertwined. So, the tools that you can play with when you're asking to collaborate with people is, would this be fun? Right? Would working with this person add to my life? Would working with this person bring me whatever it is you're asking for? But again, it's not about shoving that question in. It's about being present with it and really getting the download of that information. Like people, when I was traveling the world facilitating classes, people would say, Susan, how do you get that information? Like, how come you're like, boom, right in there, laser quick? Because I'm willing to be present no matter where I am and just listen, right? Just listen. If you're not listening, you won't get the information. And it could be a nanosecond of oh my God, I just heard that. Where did that come from? That's the information I needed. Or it could be just being present for a length of time. It doesn't really matter. If you're not willing, if you're not choosing to be present, right? Then you're not actually creating with the information that is already here. Hey, Janie. Both. Deborah says, I see. Yeah. Again, if it's a venture, once you put that in motion out there, there's an energetic information there. I call it an entity. So let's say you're talking with somebody, say, hey, let's get together and create, oh, I got a heart. Let's get together and create this new business. Yeah, that'd be great. Right? Now, be totally present. Get the energy of what you're asking to create. Right? Write down all the downloads that you get about what this new venture is, what it is asking to look like. Now, ask yourself, truth, would this be fun? Would this bring me joy? Would this add to my life and living? Does this match my foundation? We've talked a lot about foundations. Go to Ask Susan TV and just scroll down and you'll find out some more information about that. Or go to free resources on SusanLazarHart.com and you'll see a lot of information about that. It's one of my favorite topics, is your foundation. So, Deborah, how are we doing here? And anybody else asking, again, be aware that nothing gets created out of nothing, right? Are you willing to be present to get a sense of what's required, and then choose, right? So you're choosing to add your present, you're being present with your present, and you're going to the future and you're bringing that in, the energy there. And then you're having this conversation. And then, you know, with that awareness, with that sensation of possibilities, chunk it down. That's what when I work with my clients, we chunk it down and ask, okay, so what's required right now? What's our first step? But again, your first step comes from you actually having learned how to walk, right? And that's when I say, are you pushing away what you've already created, right? Are you acknowledging and appreciating, oh, this choice, this choice, this choice actually brought me here. Yeah. Questions, comments, ahas. Are we in the right zone here? It's really, really, really a big one. I know I say that every Sunday, but this one is, right? Because as we go further into whether you want to call it ascension, whether you want whatever dimension you want to play with, whatever that is, right? It's not about just reciting mantras or listening to things at night, or it's about, are you willing to be truly present? Choose presence, right? With what you're asking to create and how you're asking to create. Because you can read all the books, you can, you know, take all the classes, you can hire all the coaches, right? If you're not, oh, I got to roll a sleeves, you mentioned the coach word on this one. If you're not actually willing to be present with what it is that you're asking to create and acknowledge and appreciate where you've come from to be where you are now, then that's the work that's required, right? You get that? You can't play leapfrog over somebody that's tripping you all the time. And if you're the one that's tripping you all the time, then you've got to start asking these questions. Patricia, it's not about brainwashing, it's about integrating the moment. Absolutely, you got right on, Patricia, right on. It's about integrating the moment, right? And how do we integrate the moment? We're present with the energies of what's tugging at us, right? And then asking questions from there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hey, if you're one of those people that is like, oh, I just don't know what to do. I totally get it, but I don't. I need some help. Contact me, right? Reach out to me. I have a mentor. Everyone has mentors. That's who we be in this world. Is we know there's somebody else who has some information for us. And if something isn't working for you, if you're bumping against something, reach out to me, please, right? Private message me or go to SusanLazarHart.com and, you know, reach me through there, right? Because this is like where I live. If it's not working, let's shift and change it, right? Life's too short to be stuck in the woulda, coulda, shouldas. Right? It's about integrating where you've come from, who you are, who you're being, and asking questions. Oh, is who I'm being actually not who I truly be? Right? So there's so many times that we've learned behaviors from when we were very young, and we bring them into our adulthood, and from there, we wonder why nothing's working or why something isn't working or something specific that we're asking to create, and we keep going, tripping ourselves and tripping ourselves and tripping ourselves. Right? It could be that you actually haven't appreciated how far you've come from where you were, and that you don't require those learned beliefs and behaviors from when you were very young. And it's just a matter of acknowledging it and releasing it and letting it go. Deborah says, thank you. You are so welcome, Deborah. Thank you so much for the question. Great question. Again, if you're just coming in now, come on in with your questions. Have a re-listen. We've got a lot of juicy nuggets that I kind of went right in deep with this one. It's been in my awareness today, specifically as I was sitting in that space of space and going, oh, this is so amazing. You know what? I was reading, I'll share it with you. Nope, it's in my bedroom. It's an old book, The Seed of the Soul by Gary Zukav. Z-U-K-O-W or ZUKOW, depending what country you live in. And I picked it up from my references. Part of my desire as a coach is to always be not up-leveling, but always be aware of what's the information that's out there. And I have a huge amount of books that I play from, that I go back and dive into. It's my job for myself to educate myself with my clients, for my clients. Oh, I got a heart on that one. And I was just like asking myself before I went to bed, so what is it that I'm asking for? And I picked up that book, and it's all underlined and dog-eared from years ago, and it's the information that I required, and I just opened it up, and it opened up to being present and listening, right? That when we live in, and this was way before Snapchat and podcasts and, Clubhouse and all of that stuff, right? He was talking about really being present before the advent of all this sound and constant noise coming in. And I was like, wow, that's exactly what I want to be talking about today. So again, I was willing to listen, ask a question, and be present with what the universe was downloading for me. Well done today, Susan. Thank you so much, Deborah. Thank you so much. Yeah. So what is it that you already know, that you've forgotten, that's in your repertoire, that is part of who you truly be, in your quest to always looking for more? Hey, Janie, welcome. Right? What is that for you? And is it still working for you? Right? This constant quest that we don't know enough. Well, what if it's not about that we don't know enough? What is it about matching the energies of where you're asking to play and how you're asking to play, and actually gifting yourself that space, that time, that presence, and choosing it and committing to it? Oh, commitment. That's what we're talking about for March. How did I know that? If there's no more questions, coming in later, hashtag replay, I always check in. And if you do come in later and you have a question about this conversation, just type it in there. I'll come in and check, as I always do. I so adore all of you and appreciate you all for showing up. And really, truly, what else is possible when you're willing to stop pushing away those tugs, those the whispers of awareness that the universe is gifting you, and not just having to go for that tug, more being really present and asking, does this match my commitment to me? That's where we'll be playing in March. And I adore you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Patricia. Mwah. Have an amazing day. I'm going to go out hiking in the woods while I can. And the snow is fresh, so how does it get any better than that? I adore you all. Live boldly, love greatly, and be that fearless leader you came here to be. Because the world needs more of you. More of you living in choice. More of us living in choice, not less. Adore you all. Mwah. Take care. Hi, Namrata. Welcome, welcome. I love you guys. Bye-bye.